Okay, here we go.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, 2 grandmas in a microphone. I have no idea what number this is, but it's okay. Do you?
I think it's like 16.
Like 16.
Yeah, I think something like that.
And we said we're going to do this every 2 weeks. It's 3 weeks. So we don't know when we're going
Sorry.
to do this. We'll just do it when we
Let's say
do
2
it.
to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
It's my fault because I was really
That's
busy
all right.
last week.
So what's been going on?
My daughter and her 3 children have moved in with me in between houses. So maybe a few months, which it's wonderful to have them. It's delightful.
It's just
Yeah.
the beginning, so I hope it'll be delightful at the
I
end.
mean, it's certain. How could I say?
I'm sure it will be,
It is delightful. How could it not be delightful? I love them.
especially coming. You were all by yourself
No,
last year.
That's what we were talking about that. What a difference. Now I have 4 people in my home. And, it has its little challenges, not just for me, for them, I'm sure. I really care about them. And I'm sure that but it's delightful all at the same time. We're working together and it's good. I'm happy they're here.
Good. So, are you able to keep up? I know you meditate. Are you able to keep up with those practices with everybody in the house? That's not an easy thing.
That's interesting because I got behind on my morning readings, the truth. For a few days I got behind, but I think I'm just adjusting to having more people in the house, and my morning routine is a little different. I have to make sure they're all fine and out the door. They're usually gone though around 8 o'clock. So it's just a little different because this week was the week of finding space for everyone and cleaning up my closets, and somehow I found space, but that took me all week to just put clothes in and take clothes out. And
Right.
Yeah, so I have to say, today I got back to catching up on my reading, and that was helpful. And I do things for myself. I still, I still went out walking, and I still take care of myself. Journal. These are some of the things that help me to stay centered.
Right.
So yeah, and it truly is a very special time with my daughter, for me, with her, and it's great. I feel like you get to know your kids on different levels at their ages that are different, and my age that's different.
Right.
So it's very lovely, really. Yeah, it's great to see the grandkids too. They're 12, 10, and 8. They're each so different. It's fun. Yeah.
Well, I'm always impressed with Vicky. She's always so positive. I shouldn't laugh at that, but you are. It's great.
I don't know. It works for me. And it's not that I don't know what might be difficult. And I'm saying there are some challenges. I know that. But if you look at the big picture, how cool is that? I may not have this chance again
Right.
to live with them like this.
Right.
So it's a treasure, and they're each a treasure. So again, not to say I don't have bumps or difficulties, but overall,
And what do you do about meals? If it was me, I'd always step up to take care of everything, and then I get resentful.
I won't resent. Trisha and I talk about it, like she said to me earlier.
It's different because
what we
it's your
have.
daughter.
It's my daughter.
I have boys. They always expect mom to do everything.
No, she's good. She's really good like that. Even today, I was going to take on the food shop, and she goes, "Mom, you don't have to. I could do it." So we split it up. I went to Sickles and the health food store. She went to ShopRite. How cool is that? So we
Right.
work together well.
Good.
Yeah, she's good like that. She's great.
Good.
She's great. And I think communicating is the big key, right?
Right.
Yeah, I don't want to do anything. I've had those times, Mary, where I've done stuff and I felt resentful. So I know I'm not a stranger to that experience. But at this time in my life, I don't want to do that anymore. I'd rather tell someone, listen. And I have said to her sometimes, I'm just too tired, Trish. And I do. I get tired. I don't know if it's COVID or I'm just getting older. Could be both. But sometimes I'm just tired. I'm done. Like a certain point at night, I can't do another thing. It just has to wait.
Right.
Yeah, so it's good. I feel like I've said it to the kids, and I'm going to say this is a time, it's a practice in honoring myself and them all at the same time. This is not about one person's needs, overcome the other person's needs. It's how do we make sure that we're all okay?
Right.
And that's a challenge, right? For a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for me, I'm the one that always steps up and takes care of everything.
And then you resent.
Yeah. So that's not good either.
So in that way, then you're not taking care of yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
And
then I get in trouble.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And that's who we're really upset with. Probably not anybody else as far as herself. Like, wait a minute, how did I do this again, right? Why didn't I speak up and say,
Right.
I don't have the energy, or how about you do this and I'll do that kind of thing, yeah.
Right.
So, yeah. No, I was really grateful that Trisha spoke up about ShopRite, because she had a thing to do today, and she was going to go afterwards. And I thought, that's way better. I really don't want to do ShopRite today. I'd rather do the other two stores, you know?
And they deliver now, too.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. But the kids had things that they wanted, and I had asked them, to write on the list. So I had a whole long list. Things to get. But I don't know where some of these snacks are. I have no clue. And that's the part that would have frustrated me. Like, I don't
Right.
even know where to look for these things.
I like a store that you could just go in,
Exactly.
and then
Yes.
sometimes they rearrange it. I'm like, what the heck? Why rearrange?
They're so
I know
funny.
right where the cinnamon is, and
They're
now
so
it's not
funny.
there. And then I forget to buy it because it's not in the right spot.
Well, these funny little.
But they don't talk to me about
This is
this.
the drip, drip, drip of life, right? That's what it is. It's the drip of life. So you can, however we want to look at it, that's our prerogative, right? You can look at it as just a blip, nothing else. Not a big deal.
See, Vicki thinks it's a blip. I get very irritated.
Well, you could, but take a few deep breaths, right? Take a few deep breaths and think of something calming. Because you're the one who suffers, right? If your body's
Yeah,
in
nobody
stress
else cares in
mode-
the store that I can't.
Exactly.
But then people start saying, "Can I help you?" I've had that, so that's okay
Nice.
too.
So the universe.
There's
heard
one
you,
man. There's
Mary.
one man that works at Whole Foods, so nice, and I've had him take me around, show me where things are. It's perfect.
Oh.
It's okay.
Nice.
Yep. Just make friends wherever you go.
That's great. So it doesn't sound, even if you're in distress, it doesn't sound like you're left on your own. Somebody comes and helps you. How cool
Yeah.
is that?
Yeah. Well, last week, I think it was last week, I had to go to the eye doctor, and I had to take a test at the eye doctor, and I didn't want to take this test. It was for glaucoma. My mom has got glaucoma, so they're following me, and it's a ridiculous test. It feels like. So I made myself get dressed with like a button-down shirt, and a nice sweater with buttons, so I felt put together, so I would feel strong for this test. And then on the which was fun. And then on the way home, I stopped at Lowe's because I needed dirt. And I got my fancy shoes on, and I got my sweater and stuff, and I'm thinking, here I am. This is why I never get dressed up, because I always end up
You
doing,
have to pick up dirt.
I do things like this. And at Lowe's, you're not going to get, it's hard to get somebody to help you. So I brought it out to my car. I managed not to get my shirt dirty, and then there was a man walking by, and he said, "Do you need help?" And I said, "Yes." And that I was like so proud of myself for not being the capable one. I thought, see how things change when you're a little bit dressed? I thought that was it was interesting. It was interesting. And so he helped me, and I said, "Thank you. You have to learn how to receive,"
It's the truth.
which is a new thing for me too.
Did you know there's a whole book on the power of receiving?
Yeah.
It tells you
I don't know that, but I'm sure
Oh,
there's
it's a
many
great
books.
book.
Yeah,
the power of receiving. And so sometimes we say we want something, but we get in our way of getting it.
all the time. Yeah,
Yeah, that's an interesting topic, isn't it?
right?
Yeah, it really is. And so interesting that goes right along with, I was grateful that Trisha offered, but really I could have asked, but I think I did ask. I don't know if I asked or she offered. It felt like it all happened at the same time.
Right.
How cool was that? 'Cause
Yeah.
I really didn't want to do. Wasn't even ShopRite per se. It was not knowing where am I finding all these things, like
Right.
7 things that I don't know where it is,
Right.
Only because of the time it takes.
Right.
The time.
Yeah.
But so that's a very cool thing that you look like you were open to getting help, so it was given. Do you know my daughter asked me because she saw you doing all this stuff outside? She said, "Does her husband do anything?"
Wow.
And I said, I didn't know that I would tell you that. I was like, I don't really know. I never asked Mary. Like she saw you mowing the lawn and doing gardening stuff.
Yeah, he doesn't. He'll mow the lawn, but he doesn't want to. And so
Okay.
this is funny. We just had this conversation because he really doesn't. I mean, I like to do all of that stuff, but sometimes I get resentful that I'm doing all
There
of
you
this
go.
stuff.
Yeah.
And
Who wouldn't?
so I know he doesn't like to mow the lawn. It takes, we don't live in a big house. It takes maybe 45 minutes. But now you have to, I like to edge. I like to do we live in a corner, so there's weeds in the curb, and you cannot use Roundup because it's so bad. You've got to bend over and pull your weeds out, okay? So all of that takes time. And so I had a conversation with Dan this week, and I said, "Look, I know you don't like to do this. Why don't we just hire somebody?" We've done that in the past.
Yeah, sure.
And then sometimes I get annoyed because they don't mow it how I like it, so I got to let that go, But so he's like, "We'll find out how much it is, and we'll have a conversation." So it's not a big deal. No, but he doesn't like to do that stuff. I do. So
that was funny. My daughter ran into Mary, and thought she knew Mary because
I'm
she'd
thinking-
seen
I'm
her.
thinking,
She's
who's
never met
Mary?
my daughter. So you. So that's so funny. Yeah, because
All right, so
she recognized.
she's a realtor, an excellent realtor. Look her up.
Yeah.
Right?
Trisha
So-
Kilgore. I'm advertising for her. Trisha Kilgore.
And the people next door, very nice people, left, and I was sad that they left. And I'm hoping the new people are nice people. So they were out in the back deck, and I'm out, doing whatever. And so I said, "Oh, are you the new neighbors?" They introduced themselves, and then this woman's like, "You know my mother?" And I'm like, "Who's your mother?" And she's like, "Vicki Perry," and she's like. I said, "Yeah, 2 grandmas and a microphone, and you're ruining our production this week because you're moving into our house, and we're supposed to." It's all her fault. So anyway, yeah, no, it's all about being the capable one, and
Or at least knowing when we really don't need to be the capable one, or we don't have to be all the time. If we never give ourselves a choice, it's great to be capable. But sometimes we need to say, I really don't have the energy, or I don't feel like doing that right now.
right,
Or I need to hire someone
right.
to do it.
Well, it's so
Yes.
funny. I'm part of Kate Northrup's Origin Collective, and this month's theme is about getting support.
Oh, this is so funny.
It's
It's all connected.
It's about
right?
getting support. And like my ego is wrapped up around doing all these things
Interesting.
and
right?
working hard and being active and getting everything done. And like my sisters used to come visit me, and they're like, they're going to have a Mary Kinningham day. Because, I go out and run 10 miles, I come home, paint the house, make dinner, I do everything. And I would get off on that,
Sure.
But maybe now I don't want to do all that.
And could you have self-worth even without doing all that?
I don't
Isn't that
know.
the key?
But
Like,
what,
can we be? That's why a lot of people don't even want to retire, right? Because who will they be, and how would they see themselves worthy of anything if they don't work? That's a big thing too, right? A lot of people.
what is my life doing chores? I don't know. I like doing them, but
You can like them, and so know the difference of if you are going to do it, then it's your choice, and there's nothing to resent. If you don't want to do it, then you find another way, right?
right.
But paying attention to you is where it starts. Like, how do I really feel about this, right?
Right. And why should Dan have to mow the lawn if we can hire somebody to mow the lawn? He doesn't have to mow the lawn.
I agree.
It's okay.
It's okay if he doesn't, but you don't have to do it. It's
Right,
just because
exactly. He
does
doesn't
it.
say,
It's like,
go do, he
right.
never says, Mary, go mow
Yeah.
the lawn.
So that's the key. It's not that you have to take up the slack because someone else
Right.
doesn't. Unless you want to.
Unless I want to.
And unless you're going to smile about it and really be happy and not be resentful, right?
But Dan, you really do a good job. The lines are straight when Dan does it. I don't think he's watching.
He may, just like my daughter, right? They may. You wanted to talk about something you're going to do, right?
Oh, so, yeah, we got sidetracked. So on Saturday, I was a woman in my outdoor fit group who lives in Brooklyn. I have an online outdoor fit as well as in person. She reached out and she's like, Mary, would you like to present to, she has like a networking group of wild and wise women.
I love this.
So I thought, well, that sounds interesting. I've been asked to speak at different things, but I want to make sure it's like the right group to present to, right? So this sounded really interesting. So I said yes. And so I have to think about what I'm going to talk about. But I do this outdoor fit program. I have women from 53 to 83 and a half, so it's really about the older people since I'm 66 and
Middle-aged.
I hope, are we middle-aged?
Yeah, we are. It's a new category. So you're not elderly until you're 80, so we're middle-aged.
And so I asked some of my women this week, like, why is outdoor fit important to them? Because I've had some of these women, they've been with me for years. And so one woman who actually, she came last month, she's like, I just want to be able to get up out of a chair when I'm older. And I thought, well, that's a good goal. And another woman was so thankful because the workouts are so balanced, so she gets the flexibility, the endurance, the strength, everything is in the workout. And she doesn't get hurt. I know how to do it, right? And so I was grateful to hear what she had to say. And another woman just wants to look good in her pants. So that's okay too. And if you come, you end up looking good in your pants. It's just a byproduct, right? So why am I talking about all this? About the wild and wise women. So I just think it's taking care of your body. It's like, it should be like your first priority, because if you don't feel good in your body, you're not able to do your best in the rest of your life, And how many people put their body first?
Well, that's interesting. First, because I'm thinking, well, body, mind, and spirit. I think they're equally important because you won't feel good in your body if your mind's not working well either. So you've got like both. I mean, all three really that I think are important. So isn't it about balance? Certainly paying attention to your body. Absolutely, without a doubt. I agree.
Right.
And your mind and your spirit. I
Right.
don't know that it's one over the other. Personally, for me, I think they're all important.
Because I also heard Mark Hyman talk, Dr. Mark Hyman, he said 75% of Americans are insulin resistant. 75%.
Wow.
Is that
Why is that?
because people eat too much?
Yeah.
People eat too much crap.
Yeah.
It's so funny if you look in a crowd. I've been starting to notice like how many thin people are there compared to,
Okay.
you know. So it's so important to take care of
I'm
yourself.
with you. Like to me, it all goes together. So I don't make my body less important. To me, it's just equally as important as my mind and my spirit. And I definitely, I think when you work all together with all three, there's not an issue. They're all important. And the body informs the mind and the spirit informs the body and the mind, right? So I think they all inform each other.
Well, and the last time we were here, like after we turned off the camera, Vicki said to me, Mary, I see such a deep sadness in your eyes. You know, it's been a tough year and a half or whatever this has been. And I've been physically fit the whole time. So what you're saying is absolutely true.
Okay.
You got to take care of
All three.
all three. But I'll help you take care of your body.
Well, that's the thing. You have to know where to go. How do you take care of your body? How do you take care of your mind? And how do you take care of your spirit? And with that question, I guess we might be finishing up. Right? Like something to think about. We would love to hear from you, and that would be great if you would.
Because that's what I thought too with Outdoor Fit. I would love to make it somehow deeper than just a typical workout.
Okay. Maybe
So
you could do like an affirmation or something beforehand,
Right.
or an intention before the workout. Sometimes they do that with yoga, right?
Right.
So maybe an intention for that workout. Or an
I'll
affirmation
have
of
to
some
think about
kind.
this.
Mm.
Yeah.
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 That's a great idea. It's a great idea. Yeah.
Wow. I think this feels like a long one. But anyway, thank you so much for watching.
Thank you.
And we'll see you sometime
Probably
soon.
in a couple weeks. At least, yeah, probably a couple weeks, 2 weeks.
Thank you.